Hi guys, Jurassic Junkie here, and I'm a f***ing idiot. Welcome to the Friday Night Rant. So the reason I'm an idiot is because I was going to say this week I'm drinking Coors Light, and then I was going to tell you it's because it's low carb and I'm on a diet, blah blah blah. And I opened it and I started to drink it, and then the battery died, and I thought, you know what, I want to open a fresh can on camera. I feel wrong if I ever show you something that's already been tainted. So I drank some of the beer, gave the rest to Joe, went downstairs, fetched myself another refreshing Coors Light, and just opened it instantly before I even pressed record. I don't know why, I've just had one of them moments. But anyway, Coors Light. And this one goes to you, Woodland37, who is another man who enjoys his beer on camera. That much so, he's trying to get everyone on YouTube to start drinking while filming videos, which I think is a great idea. Let's just turn YouTube into a horrible drunken mess. So, let me have a big swag now, because I have got something to moan about. And I'll tell you what has annoyed me this week. Fanboys. Now, fanboys I hate anyway, because there's nothing wrong with liking a product. But fanboys are blind to the faults of that product. Now this week I actually did a review about Defiant, saying I enjoyed it, it was quite a good game, and then I did a follow-up video saying it's a bag of crap, don't play it. Now the reason for that is more and more I played the game, the bugs become more obvious and I just started to hate it completely. But as a side note, I'll actually say, yeah, the game is good, definitely play it at one point, but wait until it's fixed, so give it 6 months or so. But the point still stands, the game is broken. And then obviously because YouTube is out there for people to search, swarms of people come in calling me an idiot, saying I was wrong, saying it's not broken. And it just does my head in, because I went onto Reddit as well and I just put onto the Defiant section simply saying, I love this game, but the bugs now have just broke me. And I've got about 1 or 2 people said, yeah, the game is great, but it does have its bugs. But all the fanboys they don't acknowledge these things. They're like, no, it's absolutely fine, what you're talking about. And it just drives me nuts that fanboys can't see faults with the products that they enjoy. Now don't get me wrong, I love my Xbox to bits, I think it's the superior console out of all of them, but that is my opinion. But at the same time, I'll never turn around and say that thing is great. All of them got the faults. Wii U doesn't have any games, PlayStation 3's installing and loading times are just horrible, and it doesn't have party chat. And on top of it, the Xbox charges you to actually play online, and on top of it, they then give you adverts even though you are a paying customer. So all of them have the faults, and that's the thing. I think that's the best thing. If you can enjoy something but say that could be better, then you're a good person. But if you're a person who's so naive and you cannot see the faults when they're in front of you, then you're a fanboy and you do me f***ing head in. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. So one thing I want to talk about now is quite an interesting thing for the mobile market. And that is Google's now releasing its Android gameplay system. And all that will do is allow all the games that you've got to have achievements, scoreboards, matchmaking, and all different things so you can actually play against your friends and compete and compare scores. But I like the idea of bringing achievements into the Android device, because obviously iOS has already got it with its Game Center, Xbox and PlayStation's got it, and that just means now the only person that doesn't have a form of an achievement is Nintendo. But that could change. Now there's some rumours circling that apparently Nintendo have got a new achievement system that they're going to be releasing, which does something different to all the other consoles. Now what this is we don't know. Again, it's a rumour. But I think that's great. I think people have said they wanted it. A few of you may say you don't, and that's fair enough, but there's no harm giving it to the people that want it. And on top of it, obviously, Nintendo's got 5 Nintendo Directs coming up where they're going to be telling more information. Apparently some rumours have been said that they're actually going to try and get some more engine compatibility. So everything that I've heard Nintendo rumour-wise is actually good. So for once on the Friday Night Rant, I'm actually going to turn around and say Nintendo's doing good. And then the up. Now, I've done something which has just really annoyed me. And what it is I do them myself. Plenty of people do it on YouTube. Even some people make a living out of it. And it is Let's Plays videos. Now, I think Let's Plays are great because, one, if you enjoy a particular YouTuber, you get to hear them playing through a game. At the same time, you get to taste a game that you've probably not purchased. And to be fair, I've watched a handful of Let's Plays and actually purchased a game on somebody playing it. Well, Nintendo is now registered for a partner on YouTube, and they've actually added their game to the video database, saying that they own the content. And what is happening, if people are actually doing a Let's Play of a certain length, Nintendo are now forcing their adverts into their video. On one hand, you might go, well, it's Nintendo's game and they're putting their adverts on it, it's not too bad. But the problem is, the person who's actually created the video will now make no revenue whatsoever from that video. Now, if we're just talking the average person who just gets 200 to maybe 800 views, you're not going to be making much revenue anyway. But the people that are actually getting millions of views on their Let's Plays, if it's on a Nintendo game, Nintendo will now be disabling your revenue by putting their own adverts on there, and therefore you will be making no money. Now this has annoyed me on two ways. One, the person that was actually doing the Let's Play was pretty much giving you advertisement, and now you're actually denying them of the money. And two, it was free advertising. I just don't understand. If people are playing your game and 1 million people are watching it, therefore that could be a potential 1 million sales. Now, no, not everyone's going to buy it, but the point still stands. If somebody watches that video, there's a chance they may buy it. And if Nintendo have turned around and squashing everyone's revenue, to be fair, if I was one of these people that had 1 million views and I was doing Let's Plays, I would knock all Nintendo stuff on the head. So I can't understand. They've got all this, suppose there's some new games coming out and they're doing it through Nintendo conferences, which I think is great. I think the idea of Nintendo conference are good, I wish, because I prefer if Microsoft actually did it, because I would love tuning in once a month or once every 2-3 months to actually find out what Xbox has got to say. So the Nintendo Direct conferences, good thing. But like E3, they're not going to stand on the stage. So for people that like me who are going to watch them conferences, we're still not going to get to hear what Nintendo's got to say. So all the time when they got a chance to show off what they've got and potentially bring in new people, they f***ed up. So yeah, that's really annoyed me that they decided to do that. So the next thing I want to talk about is a bit of Sony news. At last I got a little gem to talk about. And all it is then obviously games and consoles, when they actually come out, they come out at different times all across the world. And America tends to always be first, and here in Europe we get it second. But there was a rumour saying that here in Europe we'll be getting the PlayStation 4 in 2014, which means you miss the Christmas buzz, and obviously we'll have to wait. But another strong rumour has come out now simply saying that is not true, and it will be released in 2013. And the major reason for it is apparently that Microsoft are aggressively targeting Europe, and Sony doesn't want to miss out on that, which I think is great. I like the idea of it coming out at the same time, because there's nothing better than two heads going head to head. So now moving over to Microsoft, another thing that's come out, which again I am happy for, is the idea of getting rid of Microsoft points. Now, I hate the idea of points, because if I look at a game and it says it's 800 points, I have to try and work out what that means in human money. And I don't like the idea of points at all. And at one point they said they was going to get rid of it, and then a strong rumour came out saying no, there wasn't, and I kind of just thought, well, that's it then, we can't get rid of the point system. But this week, some screenshots have come out of a new card which will actually just do it in normal currency instead of in points. And this will go across all the Microsoft products. So as you can see on the photo, it looks like you'll be able to buy your music, your Windows apps, and also Microsoft games. So fingers crossed this is true, because I just want to get rid of the point system. On top of it, you may have saw that I've been referring to the new Xbox as the codename Durango, and there's a few different names kicking around, but the one that sounds like it is going to be is Infinity. Now, Infinity's been knocked around quite a lot by a lot of people at the moment, and at the same time it kind of makes sense, because you've got Windows 8, it looks like that. You turn it 8 on its side, it's an infinity loop. See what they did there? And I quite like the name Infinity, Xbox Infinity. It's got a good name to it, so I do hope that is the case. But this week a screenshot came out of the new Xbox Infinity logo, which made everyone go, this is true, it's definitely called Infinity. Especially if you're somebody like IGN who takes this image and go, look, the new Infinity logo, without doing any research, and find out it was actually done by a user on Reddit and it is fake. So yes, if you've seen this logo kicking about on your news websites, it's a load of because a Reddit user by the name of C-Ron actually created it. But the name Infinity still stands, so it looks like that might be the name. Oh, man, I'll tell you now, you miss a beer if you go so long without one. And the next thing I want to talk about is something that's kind of upset me a little bit, still Microsoft related, and it is a Xbox arcade game that's coming out by the name of State of Decay. Now, when this game first came out, I got really excited for it. It's a zombie game where you got to survive. I know we've got 1 billion of them, but it looked and felt a bit different to the others. At the same time, it was saying that you can have different people that you'll actually rope in and get them to help you. If you get a base, you can fortify it with electric fences. You'll have to find electricians to be able to use their abilities to set this up, and everything about it actually sounded quite good. And because I'm a big fan of actually playing online, me, Joe, all my friends and everything, we all got excited. It was like, we're all going to buy this game, we're all going to co-op multiplayer it together. But it's now come out that they said that they're not actually going to be doing online modes at all. They've actually removed it from the game. They said it's not going to be part of it, and if the game does well, they're going to be launching it as DLC. Now that's just off straight away because the days market is massive. We've seen War Z try to take a bite out of that pie and failed miserably, but that's their own fault. And it's there, people want to be able to live in a zombie world and not just necessarily fighting, not Left 4 Dead, not Dead Island style, just where we might not even bump into a zombie or just go about my daily things, but if a zombie comes then we have to attack it, and I want that kind of realism. Now this game isn't as real as Days, but it felt like it was our console version of it and I was very excited for it, but the problem is I've jumped on the hype train, got so excited for it and then found out they've gone, you ain't getting no online, it's going to be DLC. Which I think is a very stupid move because if it was online to the get-go, I reckon that would have made so much money. So yes, I'm going to give that game a miss now. Unless they end up combining that DLC and do it at one price. But for anyone who is interested, that's coming out on June the 5th and has a price tag of 1,600 points, so about 20 quid or so. So, now I've taken another swig of my beer. It's EA time. No! I kid you not, this shocked me to my core this morning. EA did some good today. And everyone that I spoke to, everyone was like, really? And it's just, it doesn't seem like the EA that we know. Now, EA introduced the online Pass the Evil service, which means if you buy a second-hand game that you cannot get online unless you fork out £5 to £10, depending on what the actual price is. That alone has netted EA £10 to £15 million in online passes. So this is second-hand games where they'll make no money from whatsoever, and they've made 15 million just for people wanting to connect online. And the shocking thing is, EA have turned around and says they are going to cancel that service, which I still can't believe they've actually done it. And apparently they said there's been a backlash from users who don't like that service, so they're going to discontinue it. And that, I don't know what to say, because I can't say good things of EA, it won't come out of my mouth, I don't want to, but nice one EA. So it kind of proves that if you are vocal and we kind of, because to be fair, when that idea came out of the online passes, I have brought 0 EA games that are second-hand. I won't buy one and I will not fund the online pass. I go completely against it, and fingers crossed a lot of people did the same. So even they made that £10 million, they may have gone, well, the amount of people going on our servers is now starting to drop, and can see it has actually damaged them a bit. Or this could be a new leaf. EA might actually be going, let's listen to our customers for a few months and see how well we get. And if you do, good on you, because you have got some great games, so stop damaging your name. So the next thing I want to talk about is, I do like mentioning a lot of Kickstarter projects, and this one is definitely going to be the fans that enjoyed the old Road Rash. Now that kind of game, that genre of gaming where you just go around motorbikes and belting people with poles, is dead. No one really does it at all. Until a game by the name of Road Redemption. Now that's gone on to Kickstarter, and they was asking for £160,000 to actually make the game. Well, when I say pounds I mean dollars. And they just scraped by. Within the last 48 hours they managed to actually get the target, which means they're actually going to be making the game, and strangely enough they're going to be bringing it to PC, Xbox and the Wii U, and PlayStation's going to be missed by the looks of it. But it looks great because obviously it's got your Road Rash feel to it, it's obviously more modern, so it looks glorious, and on top of it it's going to have great multiplayer elements in there, to the point where you can actually form your own gangs and go across the wild outback, kicking the hell out of bikers. So to be fair, that game looks absolutely great, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. And there is another nice word that they used, and it's the word Oculus Rift. So now I really can't wait to get my hands on that game. But speaking about the Oculus Rift, because you know I love it, and if I find any information on it, I've got to I celebrate it. And it is 2 more games have now been confirmed that they are getting Oculus Rift support. The first one is Minecraft, and the other one is Half-Life 2. Colour me excited to be able to play Half-Life 2 with the Oculus Rift, even though I have actually played that game probably 1,000,000 times. But the idea of getting to that zone where them horrible crawlers and you're in the graveyard and everything like that is just going to be scary as hell on the Oculus Rift. So the last thing I want to talk about is the best game on the planet. It's by a company by the name of Jurassic Junkie. So yes, I've mentioned in previous videos that I was going to attempt to make my first game, and it is completed at last. This project, which I thought was going to take me around about 24 hours, has actually taken me about a week and a half to do. But the main reason is I actually learned a new programming language, and there was lots of issues along the way. But I've made my first game, which I'm quite proud of. It's nothing spectacular, and it probably has about 15-second lifespan before you probably get bored and just tune out. But the point still stands, it is actually working and is not broken. And it's my first attempt, so I'm not particularly bothered that it is not that fun, but it does mean that I've got the taste for it and I've kind of learnt a lot of stuff along the way, so I do actually want to put that into a decent game that you would actually want to play. But if you want to humour me and pretend that you actually are interested, my game link is down below so you can play it online. It may ask you to install the Unity engine, but you should do anyway because Unity is amazing. And I applaud you if you can last more than 30 seconds on the game. So that's pretty much it. I've shamelessly plugged my half-assed game. And this is going to be the last time I see you before the Xbox conference. Now, I'm really excited for this because this may make or break me if I'm actually going to purchase the next Xbox. So fingers crossed they do deliver lots of nice content and don't say evil things like no second-hand games, online only. But we shall soon see. So I'm going to leave the question of the week is, the Microsoft Xbox conference is coming, and what is it that you want and don't want to see at the conference? Now, what I want to see is a ridiculous amount of games, because we've seen that Nintendo had a slow start and it damaged them. I'd love for them to just go, look at these 1 billion games that we've got ready for you to play as soon as you purchase this console. What I don't want to see is Connect. Now, I know the Connect 2.0 is supposed to be actually coming out, and it sounds a lot better than Connect. And to be fair, I want to just see what it does. Don't get me wrong, just go, there it is. But that's as far as I want. Don't turn half the expo into a Connect marathon. So, that's me done and dusted, guys. Hope you have a good weekend, and thank you very much for watching. Cheers, guys. Bye.